Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Trekking Across the Universe here on the NDB Media Network. Today is February 25th, 2024, and peace and long life. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's not it. May the Lords of Oh, no, that's not
No,
it. No, it's not. What are we
no, it's
doing?
not.
Mike,
I don't know. What are we doing?
you know what? I'm lost, Michael. Hold on. I think we need a force user to assist us. Do we have a force user here?
I
Is
think we
there someone
do.
with us? I don't know. I'm getting a feel. Gina, hi. How are you, Gina?
Hello.
Thank you
I'm
for joining
guilty.
us. We have a force user on with us, a real live force user. How would you
Very
begin the
necessary.
program, Gina?
What's that?
How would you begin the program?
Oh my goodness. Well, I would think and I would say begin.
That works, ladies and gentlemen. All kidding aside, welcome and joining, and thank you for joining us on this wonderful evening. It is Sunday night, as I mentioned. Thank you, and we did have a few technical difficulties, but I was able to reset it, and I believe all of the Facebook leads are now up and going.
Are they
Please,
good?
I believe so. We lost them just as we went
Yes, we
live.
did. Yes, we are back on Facebook. Yay.
Excellent. It is all good. Michael Day. I'm Roger Noriega. Gina Hernandez. Welcome. And I believe this is your first Star Wars review program ever, dare I
It
say?
is. It is.
We
That
were
is
going to
so cool.
have you, but then some things interfered the last time.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
life, you know.
You beat me to us. Were these real life events?
Yes. Lots and lots of
Yes. Gina, as a matter of fact, your pedigree, I mean, you have quite a bit that you've done, but you have a major Star Wars connection on a personal level, do you not?
I do.
Would you
I do.
please let the audience know that?
Oh goodness. I did a little film called Star
Little.
Wars Star Wars Revelations back in gosh, what was it, 2005? I think we premiered and did pretty well. Got some good reviews, and I've watched it with my grandchildren, and it holds up. It holds up. It's a fun story. It fits right between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, and it was a lot of fun, and I met a lot of great people, and it actually has brought me here to you guys.
Folks, it is an ambitious project that they worked on. I don't know how many years. It runs about 15 minutes, I believe. Just kidding. It is actually almost a full length feature, is it not? If in fact it is.
It is indeed about 47 minutes, I think. And it started as a 15-minute project. And it just grew and grew and grew. And it was, oh gosh, it was so fun. And it was like learning the process, in real time, the film process. It was really, really great to do. And I think the people enjoy it.
Maybe one of these days in the not too distant future, we may be able to do a review of, we would never review it, but we would love to. I mean, we already did. We're talking about it, but maybe we could do one of those soundtracks or whatever, where the voiceovers where you're talking about it.
There is on the discs. If you were lucky enough to actually get a disc, you could. There was the director and the producer did a little background thing, and then there's the extras. We had the bloopers, and we had how they did the costumes and how they did the special effects. It was an amazing thing. Shane, the director, had people from all over the world working on this in different capacities with the music. I believe the music guy was in England, and we had people in Australia and Ireland and all over the place submitting work and just bringing so much to it. It was fascinating to work.
That was my fault. I didn't know it was a comment. I guess they call them a commentary track, but you never know. Maybe one that comes back and says, oh, we did this.
Yeah,
We take another look at it. It would be
yeah,
kind of cool. But all
yeah.
kidding aside, it's ambitious, folks. It speaks for
Mm.
itself. I'm going to switch over to a view very quick, and maybe if Gina can give us a direct link, but I'm going to show this one right now. If you look it up on Wikipedia, it is
Yeah.
Star Wars Revelations. They have the poster track here, and you can learn a little bit about there. But if you don't want to know about the plot, maybe Gina could give us a link as we move forward to where it is, whether it's still at the force.net, iFilm, whatever it be.
The force.net, it's on there. It's on YouTube. It's on, I think on the force.net, it's in 5-minute increments. So the best bet is YouTube, and you should be able to get the whole 47 minutes that way. I would really have to look it up because even now, to find it online, I'd have to look it up. I have discs here at home, but we'll find it.
I understand and I appreciate that. And it's really good. But folks, I just had to get that one in right now. Had to show off a little bit of the pedigree. I'm sorry. But we have significant involvement. And this is really cool. I mean, we have someone who's in the industry that's actually involved in this. So, ladies and gentlemen, all kidding aside, we're going. Disney's done it. They've released season 3, which it looks to be the final season to the good old kids, the 99ers, I believe, but we'll get into that. Star Wars, The Bad Batch. It has been running now for 2 full years. We're in the 3rd year, and Disney gave us a nice little February birthday gift. Well, I'm not a February baby, but to get it going, 3 episodes, and we're going to get to those in a little bit. I should have asked my co-host if we wanted to go over seasons 1 and 2, but no, at this point, no, I don't think so. The episodes are confined, paths unknown, and the 3rd episode is Shadows of Tantus. So, Michael, why don't you go ahead and get us going? For those of you that know and don't know, basically the Bad Batch, and please, Michael and Gina, correct me if I'm wrong. These are the clones. This is just after the fall of the Jedi, where the empire is establishing itself, and these clones are getting a little bit long in the tooth. But as we know in Star Wars history or canon, clones don't live very long.
Mm.
So it may be long in the tooth, but this might just be a few years after well, I think it's within a year or two of the end of the Clone Wars, actually, that this timeline takes place. And I should have checked that. But there's this group of clones that are not part of the regular clones. And it's called the Bad Batch because something happened with them. They didn't come out right, I suppose. So um, we're now in the 3rd season. Michael, what are some of your thoughts? Maybe moving into the 3rd season, and we get right into the episode. I don't know if you guys want to go beat by beat, but go ahead, Michael. Get us going, and then Gina, please jump in, and then we'll just see where the conversation takes us.
Well, when I started season 3, I went, wait a minute. I don't remember this part. I think I skipped. I think I hadn't seen a couple of the last episodes of season 2, but I went ahead and went with season 3. I said, I know the characters. I'll figure it out. Yep. So I did. I figured it out, and I go, oh, she got captured, and I am terrible with names, and I wrote it down, and now I can't find my paper. It is terrible, but that is life on my desk right now since it's been a crazy couple of weeks. But so she was captured, and the boys are out hunting for her. And I mean, it got right in there. And I mean, I enjoyed it. I just, as an overall thing, I did enjoy the first 3 episodes. I'm looking forward to the rest of them. Gina, do you have any?
Yeah, I was.
To say?
Yeah, no, I had the same reaction where it started, and I was like, "Oh, what did I miss?" So. But,
you too. Oh, I don't feel as bad.
Yeah, no, I was like, "Oh, what did I?" But I didn't have time to go back and rewatch anything. So
yeah.
I had that. What else? enjoyed Angelica Houston's little cameo. Is that silly? Um,
Oh,
Oh, where was hers?
she was the queen, or
Oh, from the
her name.
Syndicate?
Yes.
Oh,
Um,
Durant or something
that's it.
like that? Lady
That's it.
Durant.
Yes.
She was
So
in the third episode. That was her?
yes, I looked it up.
Okay. All right. We're
oh,
in
oh!
this.
So you recognize the voice? You
I
looked
did.
it up.
I recognized the voice. I'm a big Angelica Houston fan. You know,
Yeah.
Adam's Family, that whole thing. So I was like, who is that? Who is that? Oh, who is that? So yeah, Angelica Houston was fun. Um, I find myself doing a lot of that, actually, trying to identify who the voices are. I thought it was visually just gorgeous. Um, Scenes of them running across from the top. You know, you like the camera was up here and they're running, and it looked real to me. I just thought it was amazing. Yeah.
I will say, talking about the running, there was like one scene that looked funny to me, but the rest of it was awesome. I mean, they are getting they did well with that. I mean, and there was a lot of running.
Yes,
There
there
was a
was.
lot of running. Run. Run away from this, run away from that.
Mm.
So
I found myself holding my breath a couple of times. You know, when she was sneaking behind the guards and trying to get to the kennels, and that whole thing, just like, oh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I wasn't sure that it's not Bullseye. What is his name?
Oh,
Crosshairs.
Crosshair.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was going to go with her either. Looked to me like he was just going to be like, I'm dying. Um, I think so. You go without me, kind of thing. So it was nice to see him just kind of go into it and start beating heads and
Well,
help.
early on, Gina, he tries to focus her after the conversation because early on in Confined, he says, "You trust too much." And they had that conversation, and I'm
mhm.
paraphrasing, and help me out, guys, on this. But he said, "If I have a chance to get out of here, I, I'm not thinking of you. What are
Right.
you doing? You shouldn't do this. You trust too much." And her response, Omega, was, maybe you need to trust some. And I
Hmm.
forget exactly how she said
Yeah,
it,
it's
but
just
it was
more.
like, you need to trust.
Right.
A little bit later, after the animal is wounded and Omega helps heal the wounds, Omega says, I guess, he's like, what are you doing? What do you do? Focus. What is your primary effective? And think of the name Crosshair.
Hmm.
Focus. It's
Right.
subtle that you don't trust enough. Oh, awesome, Liz. Thank you. You don't trust enough. Yes. I love the fact that, for lack of a better word, Crosshair puts her back on. And he says, what are you doing? What is your primary objective? Stop. I think she answers. I forget what she says. And he says, then stop wasting time.
Right.
All right. I
Right.
appreciate that he put her back on. And then I think this is where he said, look, if I have a chance to get out of here, I'm not going to try to get you out.
Right.
And she said something to the effect of, but I'm going to. He says, don't risk anything for me. I belong here.
Hmm.
Yeah. That was interesting. Now, I want to take you guys back. In this first episode of Confined, I was getting vibes of Battlestar Galactica, the new one, where when they're on New Caprica, and I'm
Hmm.
also getting vibes from DS9 at the beginning of the Dominion War, when the Dominion has occupied DS9.
Yeah.
There's moments there where people are, she she runs into a routine, almost like Kira and
Right.
those on New Caprica. And I did get those vibes for a little bit. So it had my attention. I did, I think I lost my way a little bit in the second episode, but in the third episode, oh, if I was having trouble staying awake in the second episode, only because
Mhm.
I'm so tired, I don't think I blinked in the third episode.
Oh no,
So
no,
I
no.
heard what you guys were saying, and I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And there was a moment when I laughed I'm jumping way ahead, but the animal's name was, oh, I wrote it down.
Batcher. Batcher?
Yes, yes, and should have
Right.
known.
Right.
And I don't want to spoil absolutely everything for everyone, but when it showed up, I was like, "That's right, it's about time." Folks, when I'm watching Top Gun Maverick, okay, at the very end, when it looks bad, I'm saying to myself, where the hell is the Alert 5 fighter? And then 10 seconds later, Hangman shows up. So when this happened with the creature, it was almost like Maverick a little bit. It just, where Hangman comes in, the
Right.
creature, and gives her a shot. That's all she needed.
Yeah.
And it is cool. I like the character of Omega. And help me out, guys. And I want to get back to having everyone comment. It is Omega. We know what happened with Echo, right? Or was it Tech at the end of the second season? I think it was Echo, right? Because Echo was the one that. Okay, who was the one that wore the goggles? Was it Echo or Tech?
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was Tech, but
Okay, then
or was it? I mean,
I confused the
oh,
two. So if anyone in the audience could help us out, Tech. Okay, thank you, Liz. Liz, what are you doing? If you're feeling up to it, come on in, join us. And then she says, "We all knew Batcher was gonna show." All right, I didn't think about it, but when it did, I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool." I wasn't thinking about it, but when it released, I guess maybe in the back of my mind, I was like, "Okay, she saved it.
Right.
There's going to be maybe a little bit of love coming back." So um, it's Echo, it's Tech, and then we also have what is it, Wrecker?
Answer for that.
Sorry, that's
Wrecker.
my machine.
Yeah, we have Wrecker, and then we have, I guess, the effective leader who is Hunter, right?
Right.
Yes.
The one
So
with the
those are
headband.
the characters. So I was wrong. I thought we lost Echo, but it was Tech. Echo is the one that I guess is the one that looks like the Lobot, right? Because he has a thing around his head.
I don't remember.
Okay,
I've got
no
to
problem.
rewatch some of the
But
other ones. It's like, oh,
that's all right, guys. Those are the
God.
characters.
Yeah.
I did have a chance to watch the season finale, and my jaw did drop how it ended. It was really well done. You guys talked. There was a lot of activity in episode 3. I went back and saw the season finale to episode 2. My heart stopped a few times because it was a good story. I didn't know where it was going to go. Hunter is kind of Omega's dad figure.
Hmm.
Yeah, because Wrecker most certainly is not. He is the big brother, or maybe the younger brother,
Right.
right? Um, Now, Gina, you mentioned Angelica Houston.
Yes.
Did you know who played Emery?
No.
Keisha Castle Hughes.
Oh, no kidding.
Ah, got me. I
Oh,
was like,
man.
that was cool. So well done that I didn't recognize. And when I saw the name in the back, I'm like, ooh,
Right.
I like that
I do
voice.
that
Yeah.
too. Like, who was that? It's no. There's a couple of times I've been like, who is that? I know it's not important to the story.
But sometimes
to us.
It is to us. Yeah.
That's the thing I lock on. But yeah.
And of course, Ian McDiarmid reprised his role as the Emperor, and it was really good. But things did stand out. I didn't have very many notes for Paths Unknown, but I did appreciate it how it happened where they had an idea from the Syndicate Durant. I thought it was kind of cool. I was like, wait a minute, I know that type of character, the one with the horns, but who is this guy? Well, he was no one. It didn't matter. But apparently there was some sort of betrayal, and bye-bye. Almost like the Sea of Cancun, where Jabba the Hutt just eliminates everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That was the atmosphere I got from that too, was that it was a Jabba the Hutt kind of thing. But I was trying to figure out where these people are those actually aliens in the Star Wars universe or people with the
episode 4 in the cantina, that Satan-like character or devil, right? That was them, the one with the horns, right?
Right. Okay.
And I think that was maybe an Easter egg, or I don't know, but the reality was these characters were unimportant, other than Lady Durant and the first guy. I don't know
Right.
the guy that was there. I did appreciate the sidetrack that we met up with some young clones, and there was something in there where uh, he says, "Look, we're going to take you to a place. Where are we going to go?" They ask him.
Right.
He says, "We're going to take you to an island." Say, and then what? And he says, "Make your own path on that island." He says,
Yeah.
"Maybe you won't be soldiers, you're going to be, but you're going to have the ability to make your own path." So they're freeing them. I thought that was kind of neat, rather cool. I appreciated everything that happened on the planet. The slither vines, I think they called them.
Yeah.
Oh, they were fun.
Yeah.
The kids or the young men, whatever, told them, "Don't touch the vines."
So what do they
And
do?
then Wrecker did, and then it happened, and then they said, "Don't touch nothing." It's just all together, just don't touch anything,
I think
which I
it's that
thought was
trope
it.
of, stay here. You always say, stay here, don't move. And then the first thing they do is move and stay, not stay here. So that was what I,
Yes. Another thing happened in that episode, which I did appreciate, where Wrecker answered was when the clones are like, "They're clones." Like, what? What? How can it be clones? They must be the 99s defective.
right.
And Wrecker's defective and effective. I think he says yes, defective but effective. So
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. I hadn't heard that before. Do you guys remember that in the series?
I, I,
Mhm.
but about the 99 and
No,
being
about that
defective.
line by Wrecker. I think that was the first time it was used
No, I
where he
don't
says,
remember that line.
No.
No.
yes,
Yeah.
defective but effective.
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did enjoy that. Um, that one was maybe the simpler episode, I thought. And yeah, I remember that line. I did enjoy that line. The second episode was just kind of easy. I did notice that in the second episode, Omega is in a routine,
Yeah.
and then we find that the Kaminoan, or I forget, it's not Lama Su, right? Or Lama
Mhm.
She, or Lama Se. She's destroying the blood samples that they're testing on.
Right.
Yes.
She knows something.
Right.
Well, she's the one who created Omega, so it's like she knows,
Right.
and she didn't want them to know about her blood.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess it was just a matter of time anyway, then, right?
Well, yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
and it's like that one sample slipped through, and then as soon as it did, everything went off, and boom, boom, boom. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
I found myself screaming, "Grab it! Nobody's looking!" Just it's right on the corner there. Just try and like a couple of times there was spaces where maybe somebody could have just grabbed it. I know it's would have been the end of the episode, but grab it.
She created both Omega and her brother.
Right.
Yes, and well, she also has a sister there, and her name is Emery. That was a surprise to Omega. I thought that was cool. Go ahead, Gina.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought you wanted to say something.
No, I was agreeing with you.
Michael, I was surprised because of all this time, she has been the only female. And then now we
Yes,
have
yes.
Emery. I thought that was cool.
Right.
In
And
the
we don't
first,
know who her brother is yet, right? They just know there's one out there.
oh, they did mention that, didn't they?
I
Or
thought that
no?
I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember.
You got me on that, Gina. Remind me, please.
I thought that at some point they said that she had a brother, and it was just like in passing, though. It was like they didn't elaborate, but I may have misheard.
Well, not necessarily. She says, we do, and it's been alluded to, says Elizabeth.
That
Thank you, Liz.
right.
Liz, I'm telling you, I know you know this as well as everyone else too. So if you want in, I know stuff's going on, Liz. So I'm not gonna make a scene, but join us. Anyway, I just did.
Where's my Jedi mind powers?
There you
Very
go.
nice.
Yes. I have none.
Come over.
Even though I think we've all tried this at work one time or another. But
I know
anyway,
somebody who got out of a ticket like that, actually.
really. Wow.
Yeah.
That is cool. I would have loved to have known that. I could have. Wow.
I'm not sure how it worked, honestly.
I'd love to hear that story though. Um, I did notice that there was the moment in Confined where I guess it's late at night at the end of the day. And I apologize for the dogs barking, but Omega reaches into her box where I think she has 3 bits of food on there,
Hmm.
and then she reaches for, and it looked like cables at first. I was like, okay, what is she gonna do? And I didn't know that there were strict restrictions. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't know that there were restrictions on what you could have in the room. And then when she puts it in the corner, or I guess the window, it was a little doll, right?
Mm.
Was it like a rabbit?
It looked like a rabbit, like out of straw.
Haven't I think we've seen that before.
Unlike the one, not unlike the one that Wrecker made for her, right? Because Wrecker made
Yeah,
her one, didn't he?
yeah.
Right.
Yes. That, I don't know if he's the older brother. I don't know.
Yeah, they kept showing the little like stuffed one that was in the wrecked, or where the boys were. They
Yeah,
showed
in the
Yeah,
them
ship, in the ship.
in the
I
ship. Yeah.
know that. I think it was in the second episode where they look and they see that rabbit thing right there, and
Mm.
yeah, that I got that. They're looking at that because that's where Omega should be, but she's not there.
Yeah.
And she has been a significant part of this crew, and it's really sad that she's missing. They think they have failed her in every which way.
Sure.
Uh,
You're cutting out, Roger.
then take over.
I know, but I'm just telling you because it sounded like you had something important to say. I
How
wanted
about
to
now?
make sure. Yeah, now it's fine.
I mentioned earlier it had shades of DS9 for me, also had shades of New Caprica, but it also had shades of the very end of the first movie in The Lord of the Rings. Remember how the Fellowship is separated and Bilbo and Sam are on the way crossing the river, and then you have Gimli,
Mm.
Aragorn, and it gets to me
Yeah.
still when I see the very end of that, when they're like, "Well, what are we gonna do?" They've got to do what they got to do.
Yeah.
Well, what are we gonna do? Well, we're not gonna let Merry and Pimp suffer torment. We're gonna hunt us some orc. And it's those 3 men that are like, okay, they have a mission, they're gonna do it. I felt a little bit of that in the second episode. That
Yeah.
they're out searching for Omega and they've got to find her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I don't know what Elizabeth is trying to say right now because I have 8 lightsabers, so I don't know. Stuff is I'm a stronger Jedi than you. So I don't know. But I got to tell you, in the first episode, they were talking about that they've accomplished a successful transfer, and I think that was Lama Say. But Dr. Hemlock was saying, yeah, but the numbers weren't there.
Hmm.
He said it's not a complete, so you shouldn't brag because it's not a good transfer. Even though it was a complete transfer, it wasn't a good transfer.
So what we're thinking, or what it, is that Omega is blood or essence or whatever is going to save the clones from whatever disease, kind of like a, whatever's killing them, or not letting them. Is that what we're assuming this?
That's what I was going to ask because I was going, do we know what she's got that these other clones don't have? I'm just kind of like, am I not remembering something? But because I mean, from the beginning, I remember from season 1, they were saying, she was, there was something different about her.
Right.
But I can't remember if they actually said anything or I missed something, which is
I don't think it has. I don't know. I haven't caught that, but they do want Omega for a she
Something.
stands out, yes. Now, remember at the very end of the third episode, they're like, "Uh-oh." I mean,
Right.
so much so that they're going in for the kill and they're like, "Nope, back
Right.
off, let it go." And but they're going to get away. Back off.
Yeah.
It is a pure transfer for Project Necromancer.
Yeah. Yeah. That name kind of got me too. It was like,
Yeah.
It's never
that
been.
doesn't sound good. you know?
Now, I got the impression that they've already moved past the clones. They're using these clones to see if they can get something for the Emperor, and the Emperor alludes to it in the very end. He says something to the effect of, um, and I may not. Oh, he approves of all of this, and he says, "Oh my goodness, I cannot believe I did not write it." But he said that this is something that we need for the Empire,
hmm
but I still don't know what it is. But they are doing tests on these clones, so I don't know what it is as of yet.
Right. Because that was what I was trying to figure out too. When they have crosshairs and she's talking to him, and there's people like kind of going through withdrawals or whatever. I couldn't tell if that's what it was, or they were sick or dying and they're doing experiments that way, or they were trying things on them. And this was so that was something that kind of confused me. I didn't know if they were just in prison or they were being tested on or they were
Or
just
a
being
combination thereof.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you because I'm glad, because I thought I had missed something, and I go, did I miss something? But I guess not. I guess we
No,
really don't
no,
know what's totally going on yet. So,
we just know what Omega represents, in that they want Omega.
yeah,
So much so that Dr. Hemlock, if I remember correctly at the season finale, he's like, I'm willing to make a trade for these two. And I will believe it was Wrecker and Hunter. Says, I'll trade.
Hmm,
He doesn't care for these other, he wants Omega.
yeah,
right.
So,
So
um,
we're thinking he knows what's up with her. Well, now he does. Yeah. So now because it
yeah.
wasn't until she said this worked. Stop. Don't shoot them because he was just going to blow them out of the sky at that point.
I might argue with you a little bit on that, Liz, because if I understand your comment correctly, the tests that were done that I'm thinking of are in the European theater of war, and they were done by the mean guys. They were just mean. They were sadistic. They were evil. They were doing stupid stuff. Unless you're implying this something else, because I believe they are testing on them in camps, but for a reason.
Mm.
Is it for survival? Folks, I don't know how much you know of the original universe, the Timothy Zahn universe, on how the continuation of after episode 6. Do you guys know how much you guys know of I guess they call it Legends now. How familiar were you guys with the universe after the fact?
Oh,
I'm not very much at all.
me either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how much Elizabeth is, and if anyone is watching, please correct me if I'm wrong, because I was told this, I guess, firsthand about the universe. So does that make it secondhand? But anyway, um, the Emperor knew of a threat long before, and it was from either on a far side of the galaxy or from another galaxy. And these were people that the Uvan something. Uh, their name is on the tip of my tongue. And the Emperor was preparing this galaxy for them. I wonder if they're actually doing that, preparing that for these creatures that are not force sensitive, they're force proof.
Oh.
And yeah, they're very powerful.
Ooh.
And I wonder if that is what they're going to be alluding to in the here.
Huh. That's kind of
Deep.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's the I wish I remember who it was, but I didn't pretend to know that much of the extended universe. But um, if Liz is familiar with that, maybe she can help us out, or anyone else that's one. But like I say, because the Emperor says this is for the security of the Empire. So
Yeah.
my little, the little bell went off, or the thermometer, whichever, and I wonder if this is some
Oh,
of the legend stuff of an enemy that's coming down the road. And this is about the time that Luke was creating the academy and stuff, and these were impervious to the Force, and they were effectively impervious to the Emperor as well.
right.
So
Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
Something to think about.
Yeah. Because I
yeah,
would automatically just think they were trying to extend, make clones that they had more control over, I guess, how they deteriorate or whatever the deal is. But that would be neat. you know, I'd like to see that.
yeah, I would as well.
If anybody's listening.
Yeah, listen to us. Listen to us. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what else did you guys think of the episodes? Because I thought the second one was just kind of simple, but in the third one, we see the very beginning, the shadow of Tantus, where Omega has her doll again, because Emery had taken it away. She says, we cannot have anything, no personal objects," and
Right.
it turns out that Emery gave it back to her. So it was
That was interesting. And I go,
yes,
ooh,
Yeah.
might be hope, So, it's just...
Yeah, that was my take on that too. It, I know when she took it away, she said it was for your own good,
and
but
she said, "I'll take it."
right,
So she
and
kept.
then giving it back to her. Yeah, so yeah,
I don't know if what you guys think, but even though she's not necessarily small, I mean, in stature she may be, or height. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean stature, height. Because this young lady is every equal to those four other guys.
right,
So I meant in height. Um, she's still a young kid,
yeah,
even by their standards. She's still a kid, and when she was loneliest, she back to that little creature that Wrecker gave her. I thought that was kind of cool. I got
yeah,
it. And that's where I was remembering, no, she's not. Even for a clone, she's still not an adult.
right. And I thought it was cool that it's a little thing again, but they show the passage of time by the fact that her hair has grown now and it's now back in a ponytail.
That's right. Okay, I missed that because there's a moment where Hunter says, and it might have been in the second episode, might have been the third. This has been long. Oh no, it was the second episode because they were trying to storm something, right? He says,
Hmm.
it's been long enough.
Right.
Dude, what happened the last time we tried to storm something without backup? And he said, I will not tolerate her suffering one more day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it gave me the chills, but I'm gonna say,
Mm,
you know what? Yeah, I like that. I
yeah.
I thought that was good. You know what? I'm not faking the smile. I think I was smiling when he said it, and it was good. So, but I think the dogs are smiling too. So I apologize.
I can't hear.
I can't hear him either.
Oh, rough, rough, rough. I can, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well.
Um, Emery says much to do today, and then they get to work, and I don't know if you guys caught it, but in the first episode, Omega looks at Crosshair regularly when they're walking in the hallway. They meet,
Mm,
and then I don't know if it was at the end of the first episode or in the second episode, they're passing the hallway again, and this time Omega doesn't look at him.
right.
So it was part of the routine. It was changing, so I missed that on the hair. I really
Huh?
did. So
It's
that was good catch.
things I catch. Little
Yeah,
things
I
like
mean,
that.
and I did notice that, but it didn't hit me that that was their cue for passing time.
Right.
I said, "Oh, it's a ponytail," and I just,
Gina, this is what I've learned when we did Ahsoka, Discovery, Strange New Worlds, and everything. I catch what you don't. You catch what I don't. Michael does the same thing. We
Hmm.
all catch something different.
Yeah.
And that is why it's so cool that we do this, I guess, live a little bit after. And look, Elizabeth also, she's catching stuff. She's helping us out in the chat room. This is why this is a lot of fun. So, um, Lama Say says, you must, and you have to escape now. And
Mhm.
that's where she says the blood test must be destroyed. And I think Omega asks Emery, so I see a lot
Mhm.
of troopers around. What's up? Well, I don't know, but it's also best not to ask questions.
Yeah.
He says yes, and I get that. And then we realize
That's when the Emperor was there, right?
the
Yeah.
Emperor has arrived,
Yeah.
and Hemlock advises him on Project Necromancer. So that's where I got that. And then she starts doing it. She starts making it happen, and that's for me where it really started to pick up the episode.
Yes.
And it didn't stop. Like I said, I was having trouble just because I was tired. But the third, I don't think I blinked once. And Crosshair's like, "What are you doing? What? I'm improvising. No,
Right.
I'm kind of improvising."
Right.
You did he say like you don't have a plan or something? Did he say that, or am I just
Yes.
did
Yeah,
I
we did.
fill that
Yeah.
in?
And she said, "Yeah, you're going to try to escape without a plan." And she's like, "Yeah, I'm improvising or whatever." And then later, it's wait, the emperor's here, what? And you decide to, what are you doing? You know, hey, look,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So this is the worst
Oh, it
time
was
to
right
try to
after that.
escape.
Yes, my sorry, Michael. It was I was watching my notes because she says, "Well, I need you to distract the stormtroopers."
Right,
Why? How? He said, but fine. He protests, but then he does it
right.
because he's in,
Because I was like,
and
what is
he
he going to do? And then he's
and
just
he
like, we're going to
challenges
open
the
the
Star
door.
Wars. Yeah, he challenges the stormtroopers. The way he says, "You will come over here. You will let me out." And the guys are like, "I actually thought."
You went out again. You can't hear you.
I thought there was a touch of realism when the stormtrooper is like, I'm sorry, what? Who? You're telling me what? I'm gonna give you my gun. This idiot
This
thinks
guy.
he's outranks us. Yeah.
Well, it was like he was pretending like he had the Force, I guess, or something.
Yes, it kind of
And
felt like that a
so
little bit.
and so he was going, "You will do this.
I expected
You
him to
will
be
turn your
doing that.
microphone back on. You know, you will do that." You know, but that was
All
fun.
right, that was funny. That was good. Um, and then they find out what's going on. He says, "This was not the day to attempt this."
Right.
He says, "Hey, well, we're in for a penny, in for a pound." And
I
then
did want to
he's
see them steal the ship, though, the emperor's ship. I did want to see them try and steal his ship. Is that
you know
bad?
what? Yeah, Gina, that's funny. I thought they were actually going to try to steal it. I would have loved to have seen the Emperor's look.
Right.
You stole my ride! Come on, man! I kind of envisioned that, but yeah, to steal the Emperor's ride, I don't know, man. Would have been funny. But
I
she
felt bad for the
says,
poor guy that had to tell them that they hijacked their ship. You know, oh, they took our ship. You know, I'm going, oh, well, that's the end of him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it was shortly after when Omega says we have to get out to the damaged shuttle. What shuttle? He said, well, one crashed a while. It crashed. It's like, I mean, come on, man. It was in a way, it was funny the way Crosshair was reacting, and it was good. And it was shortly thereafter where Hemlock is talking to the Emperor, and they're having that long conversation. And he's like, I almost expect him to say, "Good, good." Yes. And he approves everything, where he says, "You are a credit to you. You know, you are very smart in this, and I see good things in you." And I forget how he does that, but um, it looks like he's going to get the full approval of the Emperor, and then they're about to get out through the dogs, where they were, and Emery finds them.
Yep.
And she says, "Look, I'll forget everything. You got to come back." It's still not too late. And then just as the moment they're about to stun her, she activates the alarm. Yeah.
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 So, uh,
I really thought she was going to let them go.
I did too. I
It,
did too, especially since she had given the doll back. And I
yes.
go, she's on Omega's side. And then she hit that alarm, and I go, oh, I guess she wasn't totally on Omega's side.
Right.
Um, so, and she probably doesn't know what's going on. I mean, so like we really don't know exactly what's going on, but
Right.
um, yeah, I was a little disappointed, but hey, drama. You need drama. So.
Right.
And we
well,
needed to have the chase and the running, and so to
um,
keep our blood circulating. So
guys, she might have still been on her side by
Hmm.
saying, "There's still time. I'll forget this." You know, she might have been. I thought she was genuine
Hmm.
because when she felt that they weren't going to, she hit the alarm.
Yeah.
She could have hit the alarm all that time. She was trying to talk her back.
yeah, true, and maybe it was
Maybe, I
like
don't know.
her feeling was Omega had to come back. That's the way to do it, and there's no other option.
Right.
That's what she needs to do. So
Right.
Elizabeth says she might have
yeah,
honestly thought Omega was safer there.
yeah, that is true. Yeah, that is true. So
Yeah.
because she didn't know what I can't remember what the tall
Is that Lama Say?
yeah
Must,
yeah
I think.
what
Yeah.
what she said to Omega about you got to get out of here. You have to and so
Right. And she
But at the
doesn't. Go ahead.
no, Gina, you go ahead, please.
And she didn't know yet about the blood or the whatever either.
That's what I was about to say. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't think she knew about that yet.
no, because
And
it'd been destroyed all the time and nothing had come up, so it's like, well, they tell me I have to do another blood sample, whatever. So she's not doesn't even think about anything, and then when poor Omega doesn't get the blood away and it goes through that machine and then turned colors, didn't it?
Like an orangey.
Yeah, it turned color, and then alarms went off, and so it's like,
Right.
aren't you glad you were able to see that? Sorry. I swear I'm sorry. It was right after that where the alarm activates, and you guys mentioned who's the one that has to tell the Emperor that they stole the shuttle. Notice the Emperor flies off, and then they say, "Oh, by the way,
Right.
they're unaccounted for." So
Right.
when you guys said that, right, I'm like, "Oh yeah, there was a fool that told Hemlock or whatever."
Right.
And then they immediately activate the alert, ray shields, which is a throwback to episode 1, which was kind of cool. So that might have been a tiny Easter egg. I don't know. And they're there, and what does she do? She lets them all loose, right? All of the animals. So I
mm,
was like, release the hounds. That was my line in my notes. Release the hounds. And then they scramble the recovery team, and then 4 shuttles are launched in pursuit. And these are some mean hombres.
Mm,
And Crosshair and Omega reach the crash shuttle, and there's power, but the communication doesn't work. So she's very frustrated. And then she says, "Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry." And I think she realized that luck's about to run out.
right.
I don't think I had seen her at that state ever.
she was
She's
like defeated. She felt
Hmm.
you know what? Yes. Yeah. And she's I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then Crosshair used I thought was one of the better lines. You got us this far and we're not done yet. I
That
that
was
one
good.
I stopped it. I went back to listen so I could write it down, and I'm like, all right, Crosshair, okay. I really did like that line. I mean, think about it. If we were watching this on the big screen, the theater just went mad, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
That might have been the line. I don't know if you guys think the same thing. I'd love to hear your comments, but I did. And then he says, "Okay, you familiar with Plan 72? Yes. They made me memorize all the plans. Like, okay, good.
which was good. Yes, which was good.
Yes. But it was funny the way they said that. She's like, yes.
Right.
I thought it was, and then we had a little bit of Black Hawk Down because the
Yep.
shut
Wow.
up came in and the troopers fast roped down. I thought that was cool, and then it was a pitched battle, and it was good. There was a
Mhm.
lot of action. I mean, folks, I mean, how many roped down, fast roped? What, 10, 12? Does it matter?
Mm.
No.
No.
It was probably a full squad. I don't know what that is for them, but it was at least 12 went down, and there's only two of them. What are they going to do? And yes, and I appreciated the fact that Crosshair wasn't a full deadly warrior. Remember, one of the other troopers was getting the best of him,
Mm-hmm.
but he was still able to fight him off. I appreciated that touch of reality that maybe he's not 100% or maybe the drugs or whatever they're doing, but it was still good. But he was fighting to survive. And I thought it was a great touch. And it looked like Omega was done when the guy was, I think he was telling her, right? Surrender, surrender, surrender.
Uh, yeah. You know what kind of threw me though? Did his hand jerk, and that's what's like he was trying to hide. And his hand jerked and set off the gun, and that's where they knew. That's what it looked like to me. And I
Oh,
didn't.
okay. Because I'm thinking of the scene when the that dog came in and got the trooper.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
okay.
so
What
cool.
are you talking about,
I'm
Gina?
talking about when they. I thought they were kind of like
Crosshair?
hiding, and it looked like he shoots off a round, and it looked to me like he went, oh, my hand jerked, and it set off the gun, and now they knew where they were, and they started chasing them.
As in Crosshair, right?
Yes,
Ooh.
because he kind of does and they oh, well, now I got to start fighting them, and they all start going after him, and they're chasing him, and that
Oh, you see, this is what I'm talking about,
I.
guys. I did not actually catch that because it was moving so fast.
Yeah, and but that's and I didn't rewind it. It's really hard to rewind on my TV, but that's because I was like, wow, that was good because he's been, the hand. She kept bringing up the hand. They kept showing the hand shaking, and then at that point, they're like in the shadows, and and his gun goes off. He's, you know, so
Okay,
that
that's when Omega noticed his hand was worse. Okay, that was good, Gina. I did not
I
see that, and good catch. I like that.
Me either. Mm.
have to go
Well,
watch it again too.
yeah, like I said, it was a pitched battle. Well, what's the name of the creature? Batcha or Betcha?
Batcher, I
Oh,
thought.
Batcher. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, the Latin guy would get it
Batcher.
wrong. Go
Yeah.
figure. I thought it was Betcha. You betcha.
That's the Australian accent that everybody uses.
I like that. Okay.
It's well, that was driving me crazy. I'm like, why does everybody have an Australian accent? But then I'm like, well, I guess because the original clone had the Australian accent, so they just kind of carried it through, and that's how you
Oh.
know this again.
Well, it could be. I mean,
that. I like that. Michael?
yeah, I mean that's possible. I mean, or a lot of the voice people are from Australia. I mean, very possible. Who knows?
Or all of the bounty hunters are from Australia. Sans Dog, the bounty hunter. So he's Hawaiian. Maybe they're island Pacificers. Maybe they make the best bounty hunters. That's a stretch. I'm sorry. That might be a stereotype. I'm being stupid, folks. I'm not trying to be insulting. Okay. I take the blame for being stupid. So when Batcha showed up, see again, I don't know the pronunciation. I really was like, okay, that was cool. It was perfect timing. I had no problem with it. Is that a trope? Don't know. Don't care. Yes, it is.
He's got to have a little, well, not little, but an animal, I guess, to, it's Disney. She's got an animal.
But Michael, it was a little bit of gratitude, right? Because we didn't talk about this because that robot said, "What are you doing? You're wasting time. It is set to be terminated." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And after Omega began to heal it, it changed even towards her.
Yes, it did.
Mm-hmm.
There was, I apologize.
Well,
there
first
was
it was when she was giving him that thing to eat that was much better than that started it, because at first it was going to bite her hand off.
Mm.
And then she was just being nice, and he started to warm up to her, and then she let him go, and it's good she did. Helped her in her plan.
Yes. And I think the animal was just like, hey, I know who you are.
Yep.
Someone's in your way. And I love the fact then immediately doesn't celebrate, doesn't, immediately goes to the shuttle and goes up. And, in a scene reminiscent of Aliens when they're in the dropship, except she was the evil alien. The trooper turns around and wham, knocks him out. And what was really funny was you saw the hand go limp. And the shuttle started to swing down. That was good. I did that. There was a bit of realism, I guess, in there. I chuckled. I'm like, oh man, here we go. She recovered right away. And then she angled it. And in a scene reminiscent of Star Wars Return of the Jedi, when Chewbacca, folks, remember, because of Chewbacca, the entire battle changed on the Battle of Endor. Mm-hmm. Because he and those two little Ewoks did the little Tarzan across the thing to take the. Remember that, guys? It was Chewbacca. I loved that whole sequence. And so when she went up there and took the shuttle and she's trying to angle it and the lasers, and she just started shooting up the place. And it was funny because the guys looked up and they're like, oh, they knew what was coming. Oh man, I died laughing that she was shooting them up. I know it's supposed to be dramatic and everything, but I'm like, hey, it's about time the bad guys get it where it's right. It was good, and they take the shuttle, and they're like, oh my god, they've taken the shuttle. They're like, all right, launch the V-wings, and then we get that to happen.
That looked really good.
Yes,
I like that. Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. I think you may have said this already, and I'm sorry, but this episode moved fast. Gina, are you a fan of Star Trek Lower Decks?
I've watched a couple episodes. I haven't.
Have you seen the season finale to season 1?
No.
Okay. Michael, this felt a little bit like that.
Yeah, it kind of did, come to think about it.
And I'm not going to, Gina, I invite you to watch the season finale to season 1. Episode 10. I think it's No Small Parts or something like that.
Okay.
This is a 22-minute cartoon. It feels like a movie.
No kidding.
It is. It was something. It was like, oh, wow. I mean, it was intense. It just caught you, and
this episode feels like a movie because it's moving so fast.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever catch yourself looking at the time on an episode? Do you pause it to see the runtime or whatever? I didn't do that on this episode.
No.
Because of what both of you said at the very beginning. It runs and runs and runs and runs well and fast. There's a lot of stuff going on. Gina, you said something earlier that there were some parts where, you jump for joy or whatever. Oh, yeah, I was too, man. There was a scene that I genuinely laughed. And I think it's when they shot a trooper or overpowered. Crosshair may have done it. And I don't know if you guys caught it, but he may have knocked him out. And then you saw the flicker of the lights in the shield. It's like he hit him and then there was a flicker of the light. I was like, I thought that was
I do remember what you're. Yes.
You do, yeah. Yes. I chuckled. That was funny. The light's going out, dude. That's the impression I got. Literally. We're doing, and folks, I'm way off topic now, and I challenge everyone to watch this. You're a Battlestar Galactica fan of the original series, right, Gina?
The original series?
The original series.
Like
yes, 1970?
No, yeah.
Okay. Apparently my co-host missed it. That in the second part of the Living Legend, when they come back on this is what happened last week. You're familiar with the episode, right? It's the 2-part where the Pegasus comes around at the very end and ambushes the Cylon fleet. And then there's the Cylon is like, Baltar, you got to look at this. Okay. Well, it didn't happen in the episode, but it happened in the extended last time on Battlestar Galactica, where the Cylon is like flying, and then he looks, and you know the little red eye that's going
Mhm.
across. Well, what happened was when he looks, you can see the eye, and all of a sudden, it was funny. The Cylon had emotion. He's like, "Oh man!"
Right.
So in this episode, it reminded me of that where it was going out, and I thought it was funny, so I apologize. Let me see. Elizabeth says, it was what was in your backyard this morning, Roger. Ha ha ha. I don't know. Folks, I've been in here since 3 in the morning. At 5 o'clock, Gina, I have dogs that are. Okay. If you can see this right here, that's the garage door. Okay, there's insulation. I am three, 2 feet away from the garage door, straight here, and I am 4 feet away from the alley. So across the alley, the neighbors' rat dogs are out there and always make a lot of noise. You know how when they bark when they don't recognize someone,
Mhm.
when they bark there's a cat, and then when they bark when there's something out of the ordinary. These dogs were almost rabid. They were barking in a way that I'd never heard them bark.
Uh-oh.
And it's 5 in the morning out here. It's
Mm.
still dark. And I could tell where they were barking, and whatever it was right outside the garage door.
Ooh.
Have you seen um The Walking Dead?
Oh yeah.
What's the name of the bat that he Lucio, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm a baseball fan. Mine is Easton for the name brand of the bat. So when I get angry, I'm like, oh, where's Easton? So this morning at 5 o'clock, I'm like, where's Easton? Oh man, I can't find it. So like an idiot, I said, okay, I don't have my bat. I'll just get one of the lightsaber. I actually said that. I'm like, oh, screw it. I'm gonna go outside and see what's going on. So I went outside, and as I exited the garage, I could hear the dogs barking. Whatever it was moving away. I
Oh.
don't know what it was. I'm
Oh.
5 miles away from the foothills. We do get coyotes. They don't go wild for coyotes. They
Mm.
bark at coyotes. So somebody alluded that it could have been like a mountain lion or something.
Oh my.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
We
It,
just moved on onto a farm ourselves, so
oh,
we're
you
finding
know exactly what I'm talking
I've
about.
always found snakes and foxes and we've only been here 6 months, so I'm I'm finding new and interesting animals and wildlife that New Jersey has to offer. A lot of geese. We get a lot of geese too right now, but
Yeah, but I'll take geese over the dogs flipping out over. I think it
Whatever.
was I it was something that was not normal right here.
normal, yeah.
Could it have
Ooh,
been a mountain lion? Maybe. When I went out of the garage, the cats were gone.
oh,
They were just flat out gone, and they would have run to me. I didn't realize that when I went out earlier, one of the cats that we do allow indoors was like at the door, stressed out. And as I
oh.
opened the door, just flew past me. Bonehead missed the clue.
Who knew, right?
But I love my cats because what do? Screw you. I'm going in.
I am out of here.
Yes. So I apologize, folks, for getting it, but that's what did happen this morning. And then, as whatever was moving, you could hear the dogs in the neighborhood. You know what I'm talking
Mhm.
about. You know where things are because of the dogs in the
Yeah.
neighborhood. I started recording, following whatever, and just as I'm doing the Facebook Live, the dog stopped barking. So whatever it was moved on. But whatever it was moving fast.
Mhm.
So it was a little crazy this morning. So I
Yeah,
apologize, folks. So I had a batcher this morning.
that
I
was
sorry.
probably it. Yeah.
I don't think it would have jumped in, give me a hand though, because I hadn't fed it yet.
Chicken nuggets.
Yeah, that's what I probably would have turned into.
Man, chicken nuggets.
Yeah. So I apologize, folks, but the V Wings were launched, and then kind of reminiscent to the season finale on season 2 of the Bad Batch, we see the V Wings again, and when they get the test that shows positive or
Mm.
100% transfer rate, Hemlock says, back off. And I think one of the pilots, but we're about to score, for lack of a better word.
They're all pumped. They were like ready.
They were, weren't they?
They really were. They wanted the bad.
But we got them. Back off. And a few seconds later, they're gone.
Yep.
Almost a scene out of the end of The Empire Strikes Back, where Darth Vader says, "Did you deactivate the hyperdrive?" and then it just flies off, and Vader's like, well, "I guess they didn't after all." And the look of Pettit, he's like,
Yeah.
figures he's gonna die, but the episode moved lightning fast.
Yeah,
it was
really
good. Did. There was a lot going on. Have we seen it before? Sure. But there was some creativity in this episode that we hadn't seen, and I loved what both of you said early on. This one moved fast, and it moved well. I compare it to a little movie. It was a good movie.
No, yeah. It moved, and that was really good. That was really good. Was not boring.
No.
Far from.
No.
And as I mentioned in the second episode, I just had a hard time staying awake on that one, just because I was tired. And in the third episode,
also the second, in my opinion, it was a transition from 1 to 3, and so it kind of calmed down. I mean, it was crazy at the first. At least I felt it was. And then second was kind of calm. Well, what the first episode was a lot longer. It was like 45 minutes, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought, because the first episode was 45, and then the second was the normal 20 some minutes, and it was calm. But then got that third, it was like, oh wow.
I watched the first episode of the first season the other day.
Oh yeah,
and that was almost an hour and a half. It was an hour and 70 minutes, I think, altogether.
Wow.
So I wasn't sorry. Speaking of my
don't
dog.
sweat it. It's okay. They're not mine, but I have similar ones right here.
Sorry.
Not at all. It's all good.
Well, the dog probably has something to say. So,
Aw, there's a ribbon on there.
Yeah, she got a haircut the other day.
Oh, good for. Oh,
that's Mia. She's our rescue.
Hey, Mia. She's a what?
She was our rescue. She's a Yorkie.
That is so cool, Gina. That's very kind of you to do that, to adopt a rescue. That is really good.
Our baby.
That is cool. Well, thank you for sharing.
Was that or listen to her quack? So.
Hey, it's all good. She just wanted to be on camera.
She's not
unlike us. So it's
diva.
Hey, it is what it is. After they jumped, I think we went to credits almost right away. And that's where I saw, I think it was the second page of the credits after, Dave Filoni and all that stuff and a few of the producers. They had the list, or right before this scene, the actor or performer that does the entire Bad Batch, the name was there. And on this one, I started seeing Dr. Hemlock, and that's where I saw the name of Lama Say, who was doing it. And I think Lama Say was the original one as well from the
movie.
Clones.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so. And then I saw the name Ian McDiarmid. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I know homie. And then Keisha Castle Hughes. I was like, I knew that name, and I had no idea it was her. It's well done. It's well done. What are your thoughts, guys?
Do you want? Are you going to do grading on this one, like we?
I don't know. Did you want to? I am. Are we going to do this moving forward?
Well, that's the thing. Do we want to? Do we want to spend the time? Do we want? That is something we said we were going to decide if we wanted to continue or not.
I don't know that we should do this on air right now.
Okay.
I think. Well, unless you want to.
No, it's better not to. Probably, yeah.
It would be a good idea if you guys want to talk about it off air about doing this. The moment I found out there's going to be 3 episodes, I said we could do that. Do all 3, and that would be good. But we'll see. It is every Wednesday. We got some stuff to work on. But folks, Discovery has a premiere date. So there is going to be a little bit of overlap. And I believe we will be doing Discovery. So I invite everyone. But that's on April 7th. That would be the first episode to Discovery that we would go ahead and review. And we will be live that Sunday doing
So
Discovery.
6 weeks about from now. So
Yeah. And I think Bad Batch is running 16 episodes.
yeah, it's a long
So
one.
that means we got three out of the way. So we have 13. Now, I don't know.
Well,
We'll
we'll
see.
talk about it off. Yeah.
Let's talk about, I mean, we don't have to do it every week.
No, we might
We could
want to
do them
do
in
a
groups of
couple
three.
episodes. Yeah, or something like that, maybe.
Yes. So anyway, in final thoughts, unless you guys have a lot more to talk about, I'd say, Michael, what overall, either single, look, first three episodes, I'm glad Disney did all three. It's an arc.
Mm.
They work all of them together.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for that. I would say the first episode, I wanted to know what would happen. I was excited about the Bad Batch. I think the first episode delivered. There was no resolution. She wasn't rescued like right away. Part two,
Mm.
the conclusion, there was no conclusion. So that was good. Um, the second episode, we had to get to where we had to.
Right.
It's kind of like what I've said. People say that The Phantom Menace is a bad movie. And my answer to them is no, folks. The Phantom Menace suffers from the weight of what is to come.
Yeah.
It
That's
has to
I
be.
hadn't thought of it that way. That makes a lot of sense actually.
We know where we're going. There's so much to do. And I believe the second episode kind of works that way in a little bit is we have to get to where we have to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the storytellers are treating their audience as invested characters.
Hmm.
And they're not making it cheap. Like I said, part one, she's taken. Part two, she's freed. No, it was good.
Right.
Part three, this was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So I
enjoyed
guess those would be my thoughts. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go
Well,
ahead.
if I was going to grade it, I would do. I mean, I enjoyed the first episode. I'd give that an A. The second episode, since it was a, transition, A minus. I still give, so an A minus. But the third episode, A plus in my book.
Hmm.
I mean,
Oh,
I
wow.
really enjoyed that one. So
Liz, let's have your bastardized scoring, please. We kidded with Liz for the first like 6 weeks of whatever we did. It was like A plus, A plus. We were shocked when she gave an episode an A minus, and then we got realistic scoring, I think. But anyway, Michael says an A plus.
well, I mean, if you go overall
Episode
for
one.
the three, episode one is an A.
Episode two was an A
A
minus,
minus.
and
Mhm.
episode three you
A
gave that one an
plus.
A plus.
Yeah.
Well, that averages that. Now, come
To
on,
an A.
kids.
It
We know
averaged
what
out.
that average is.
Yeah.
If
Mhm.
you want to grade it, Gina,
Hmm.
you may use a grading scale. You may use a starring scale. You may use a 1 to 10. You can do thumbs up, thumbs down. We generally have adopted either a numerical system and or a grading like
No.
that.
I guess I'll stick with the grading.
Okay.
I yeah, I think between the three, that three was obviously the strongest out of the three. But the first episode hooked me, so I would give that an A. I would probably the second one. I kind of phased in and out on that one too. I did.
It wasn't just me.
Yeah. I found myself folding laundry and stuff, and I'm sorry, but so
You're funny.
I would probably give it a B,
The
and then
second one.
yeah, and definitely an A plus on the maybe a plus plus. I really did enjoy it.
Well, Liz gave it, A plus 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 for 3.
4-3, yeah.
Yeah.
But look, there's some stuff here. She gave it a B plus for 1. For 2, she gave it a B minus.
Oh, just a B.
Oh, a B. Sorry, Liz. And then for I don't think I can count that many pluses. I like that. So, sorry, she gave it. Did you Gina? You gave
Mm,
episode 2 a B, correct?
yes.
Okay, and Elizabeth also gave it a B. Okay, so then that would be me then. I did enjoy the first episode, so Royer would give it an A. The second one, I think I was going to grade it even harsher, but no, there was still merit. There was still stuff on this. I would give it a B as well. And it's hard to give it an A. Roger will give it an A plus. Folks, far from a perfect episode, but when it when an episode delivers that you're smiling, jumping for joy, and actually one in peril. I'm saying this wrong. Help me out, guys. But when your character is in peril and you're feeling it,
Hmm.
folks, that's a good time.
Yeah.
I give it an A plus as well. So I like that. That's cool. All right. So you are the Disney shill now, Michael. Just kidding. Michael, did you get you okay? You gave the grading. Did you have a comment on the particular episodes other than the grades
No,
that you want
no.
to add?
I mean, I've said everything. I mean,
And
I
I think,
enjoyed 3 really well, but like
yeah,
one hooked me. One hooked me.
Right.
yeah, I agree. Gina, did you want to give some additional commentary?
The only other thing that kind of jumped out at me was the the plant things. What were they called? The slimy plant.
Jumped out. That's appropriate. Yeah. I
The
mean,
slither
The
vines.
slither. Thank you. The slither vine. So when it's got the ship, and that was the third episode, right? Yeah. Or was
yes.
that the second?
No.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
There was so much in the episode.
I
Was that?
know. I know. I think it was. I think
I
it
think it
was.
was right. Well, so it's pulling them, and it's coming out of the ground, and it's this thing. Was it supposed to be a different version of the thing that they're trying to throw Leia into in the second film?
Oh,
You know how it had that? Wasn't it the same kind of
Well,
monstery thing?
come to think about it, it did, and I was wondering, I was wondering if it was just one creature and it just expanded through the whole planet and that was the centralized location. I was just wondering that. So,
Hmm.
oh,
I
that
just
was the second episode.
it was the second episode. Okay.
Yeah, because that's where they met the clones.
Right. Right.
Oh, sorry.
the clones
You all
go
right?
I'm sorry.
The
It was
slithering
probably
vine
like a
coming to
baby
you?
mosquito or something.
wasn't a slither vine, huh?
No, and it
Slither
wasn't it wasn't a spider or anything. I saw it, and so I guess I was like, back off.
But it looked to me a lot that the when they're in the ship and they're going to throw Slave Leia off, and I thought it had the same kind of teethy thing. So it looked like the same. Was it? So was that? This is after, right?
Yeah.
The Bad Batch is after.
It is after the Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
So
it's after the Revenge of the Sith because the Empire is taking control.
so if they said that they planted this thing, it was supposed to be some kind of weapon, and it got out of hand.
They did, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm wondering, was it the one of those things that they tried to use?
That's good, Gina. You're right because they said they eventually had to pull out.
Right. Yeah, because it took over and it got out of control. So I just wonder if it was a throwback or maybe a same kind of creature that they were trying to
That
harness.
might have been they might have had an original creature, but they experimented on it,
Right.
and made
Right.
it. Who knows?
Poison Ivy got to it or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
something.
Very good.
Long universe.
I like that.
So that was the only thing that jumped out at me that I was like, what it, that was cool. I
Yeah,
think.
Gina, that is good. I wonder if that'll be revisited as because the lab was there.
yeah.
That's where they got the hint, but they evacuated for some reason.
Mhm,
Ooh.
maybe. I don't know.
There may be something there. All right. We're gonna have to pay attention to that. Yeah, look, folks, I'm not gonna anymore. It insults my co-host if I continue at this point. It was good. I love it, and I appreciate the commentary from my co-host. It's a wonderful insight. As I said, when I miss, they pick up. What Gina misses, Michael and I pick up, and whatever Michael misses, we all miss. Just kidding.
There you go. Mhm.
Just kidding, Michael.
As it should be.
Liz, as always, I appreciate your commentary in the chat room. Hope all is well with you. And yeah, so there are no previews. Usually they'll get a preview out on a Sunday or Monday. I don't know. Do you guys want to think ahead? What might happen? I mean, they're back together again. Is Tech dead?
Hmm. Is anybody ever really dead in Star Wars?
Sorry. In the extended scenes of the Lord of the Rings, the third movie, they throw the what is Frodo wearing? That's the shield or whatever,
Oh, the Mithril?
the mithril. Yes,
Huh?
they throw it at him, and they say he dead.
Uh,
That that was a lousy impression.
uh,
Oh, Elizabeth says no,
no.
he's not dead. But for those that remember, what a dramatic demise to a character
Hmm.
and a main character, if in fact it was. What his last words were? We never obey orders anyway. And he takes the shot. I was stunned by it. It was really good. And I don't know. I don't think he's dead. Michael, do you think he's dead?
I honestly do not know.
Yeah,
I,
it's a tough one.
Yeah, I'm
Really
holding
looked
out
like
hope.
it, but you
Yeah.
know, you find out he can force fly or something.
yeah. Mhm.
So when we saw the goggles from Goggles, oh, the betrayal by what's her face in the season finale. Oh, yeah, the bar person who would send them on their runs. Yeah, that one did me wrong in the season finale. I was wow, but it's all about money. But it's
Mhm.
okay. All right. Well, other than that, I think we're good, guys.
I think we are good.
This was fun. We got 3
Fun.
episodes in. Gina, I thank you. We've been waiting for you to join. Actually, no, this is, I think, your second time on with us now.
Yes, yeah,
You
I did
joined us as
the.
a guest, and we were so eternally grateful. You knew the situation. You came on, and you jumped in right away. And then real life got in the way.
Mhm. I had so much fun too. I really did. So I wanted to do it again. It was just between
Things
moving.
that came in, and yeah.
Are you interested? Oh, are you
She's
a fan
actually
of Andor?
well, she's actually co-hosting with me next Thursday
It's very kind of you, Gina.
with
Great.
Joshua.
Um,
So I appreciate it.
Greg has become a massive part of the Empire, the NDB
The
Media,
Empire. Yeah.
and he's not a fan of Andor.
Mm.
I'm just curious. Are you a fan? He loves Obi-Wan,
Andor was the one with
Rogue One.
Rogue
It was
One. I haven't watched.
Cassian Andor.
Andor, I did
Yeah,
watch. Yeah, that's
Cassian
where they're
Andor.
in the prison, right?
Yeah, near the
Yeah.
end. Yes.
So
Were you
yeah,
a fan of it?
I watched all that. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to see what happens with that. I was interested in the characters. I was getting right where there's an ambassador, and I'd have to go back and watch it again. But I watched the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the rewatch. But well, I'm not gonna do a rewatch. I'm going to watch it again. But we will be reviewing Andor. So you are more than welcome. You're more than welcome on everything and anything, Gina. I thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
It's a lot of fun, and I appreciate your commentary. It's really good. It's a lot
I
of fun.
hope I was able to contribute enough.
Oh, absolutely.
Stop it!
I
Stop
was,
it!
I was like, God, I hope I have something to say. you know?
You know, Gina, I don't know any better, but I've always enjoyed the free for all conversations, and this three-parter helped.
Hmm.
But so that we don't miss stuff, I go beat by beat, but it can get annoying. Even though I've been told it doesn't, for me, I think it is going beat by beat. So if we get into a free fall like we did today, it was really cool. It was a lot of fun.
Hmm. Yeah, it was neat to hear your what you caught too, and what you caught, and how you felt about a scene. It was neat.
You got me a few times. You saw Michael's reaction too. And that's why we love doing this as well as for this. Okay, that is a genuine mosquito that landed on my computer desk. Oh, I got it. I got it. There it is. It's I think a little speck.
Warm enough to have mosquitoes over there. We're It's
Oh,
like 12
yeah.
degrees here.
We got up to the low 70s, I think.
Oh, where are you?
Southern California.
Uh,
I'm actually in hell, otherwise known as Pomona, California.
uh,
So for those of you that know, this is a very cryptic thing. Not cryptids. It's a cryptic comment. I'm not far from the secret Japanese airfields. So if you guys
oh,
remember the movie, I love that movie. It's a Steven Spielberg movie where that crazy colonel up in Barstow or Bake or whatever, he's I need reinforcements because there are secret Japanese airfields in the Pomona alfalfa fields. My God, it's a funny movie. I'm sorry. All right, we're good. Michael, any announcements?
I was just saying that we have a guest on Thursday. It will be 8 p.m. next Thursday because we will not be doing a Battlestar Galactica review that night. So we it's Joshua McCooey. He's a singer and a dancer. He's just starting his singing career, and I just found out tonight he's a Star Wars fan.
ah,
Yeah.
there you go.
So Gina and I might be talking a little Star Wars with
More
him
Star
too.
Wars.
Yeah. So, and that will be 8 p.m. As I said, Thursday evening, Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So, and the next guest we have, which we are excited about, is Dominic Chichak from the Ark. We keep talking about him, but he was so fun the last time. Sunday, March 3rd at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 11:30 a.m. Pacific Time. And then after that, we have on March 10th, which is the following Sunday, another singer songwriter who's also a dancer and a gymnast. He's starting his career in music right now, and he will be on at I just realized I put the wrong. It's an early one. It's 11 a.m. Eastern time, 8 a.m. Pacific time. He's out of Chicago, and he had to do it earlier in the morning because of other commitments that day. And but it should be fun. Those are our next couple of guests for you know trekking across the universe, talented universe. Don't have any Monday Night in America guests right now. We're working on some of those, but yeah, but that's what's going on.
We've been a bit quiet, folks. I give thanks to Michael and all of his endeavors in getting guests, and as always, my luck is I get to say that I brought NDB Media out to wherever it is, but it's not me. It is our guests, our co-hosts, and it's you, the audience, that actually comes to spend time with us. That's what I get to smile about. I'm like, wow, I had a hand in this, and just like everyone else does. But that's what I believe. That's what I know, and I can't wait to see what we get to do moving on in the future. And now that Gina has able to join us whenever she can, it adds yet another distinctive flavor to this humble network, dare I say. And I'm just thrilled. I can't wait to see what we're going to be able to do moving forward. And yes, Elizabeth, Arcaholics can't wait from the Arc. So we're looking forward to that. And Michael is as amazing as far as, oh, God, for the love of God. Go ahead. Give him some more love on air. but it's all good. He is incredibly amazing. And it's across the universe, dare I say. So I don't want to make my co-hosts suffer any more than they need to. And because I'm real good at that, rumor has it. So,
Oh, very good. A plus.
Only one plus?
Yes, 1+. Yes.
Oh, that was good, Gina.
I'll let Liz go for the other pluses. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Michael, you're good at doing this. You're a little practice. And Gina, what I'm about to do, I will eventually have you do. So,
Okay.
Michael, we're at the end. Take us out, please.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. We hope to see you on our next adventure, whatever that may be. If you want to know what's going on, just go on to ndbmedia.net, look at our webpage, and if you want to know what guests are coming up, you can look at the calendar on the front page. And if you want to know uh, what is also coming up, you can go underneath the next where it says oh, I always forget what I've called it. It's what's been shows video, and you can click on one of the shows and look at the details, and you can get such as I just added from our guest from Thursday that we had. I had to add her uh, her social media links, and because I didn't get them up during the show. So if you have seen Kristen Brown, that was a great talk we had with her, and I do have all of her social media links up on the webpage right now under Talented Universe. So thank you all for coming, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
May the